Hello, my name's Tyler, and my Tumblr URL is Born of the Spirit, and this is the video that I'm making because I have lots of new followers, and I'm not good at introducing myself in text form. So this is my introduction video, and also more information video for people who have been following me for a long time. Cool. Alright, so Emily, or Bluer Eyes, asked, what song best describes you at this exact moment? You know that band? They did that song, LMFAO. It's LMFAO, that song they have called Sexy and I Know It. That's not actually it. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Poor by My Epic, I would say. It's on their Yet album. That's a lot of what's been going on in my heart lately. Just the lack of unity and organic relationship within the body of Christ has been really weighing on me lately. What is your favorite Bible verse? And Lizzie, who sent my next round of questions, asked me my favorite chapter or passage. So I'm just going to answer those all at once. My favorite verse is probably John 15:13, where Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." That has always really resonated with me in an awesome way. My favorite chapter is probably Romans 8. It's classic and a good one. My favorite passage is probably the area around Ezekiel 30, like 4 to 36. I really love that passage in that part of Ezekiel. It's really good. What is the worst thing you have tasted? That's a good question. I should have gone over these beforehand and checked my answers. Excuse me. The worst thing I have tasted, I hate tomatoes. Like, I know they don't taste that bad. Sorry, I'm adjusting my thing. Tomatoes don't taste that bad. Like, they're a fruit. But it's just always so gross when I eat one. And like the taste, it's not a strong taste. It's just disgusting. I don't like ketchup either. What is the longest time you have laughed for? For the sake of not exaggerating, legitimately probably 3 or 4 minutes straight. Like solid laughter, like gasping. It was bad, but really funny apparently. Are you reading any books as of late? If so, what might they be? What is on your list for future books you want to read? I just started Doctrine by Mark Driscoll and the other guy who worked with Mark Driscoll on that. I can't remember who the other guy was. I just started that. I just repurchased The Lord of the Rings today. I got the 50th anniversary edition, and I'm so excited about it. So that's next on my list of reading after I finish Doctrine, or maybe while I read Doctrine. I don't know. I can probably read alongside each other. Future list. I want to reread the Inkheart trilogy because I really loved that trilogy. And I need to finish the Silmarillion. My only copy of it got doused with Gatorade in my backpack at work, so that was really bad. And that was all from Emily. Thank you, Emily. Lizzie, or Lizzie Christine, on Tumblr, asked me, what are your top 3 Backstreet Boys songs? And I thought hard about this since last night when I got the question. The 3 that get stuck in my head the most are the first 3 tracks off of the Millennium album. Larger Than Life, I Want It That Way, and Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. For some reason, I really enjoy those songs. I don't have a good reason. Who's your favorite Disney princess? Belle. No, hold on. Rapunzel, because Tangled is the problem. No. Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, but they don't really have a princess. Nala's not really a Disney princess. So probably Rapunzel, because I love Tangled. I just love that movie a whole lot. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up? I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was 6. I wanted to be the guy that dug up dinosaur bones, because I thought dinosaurs were the coolest thing, like, in the world. They were just so cool. And dinosaurs are still cool. I still read about dinosaurs in the Bible and stuff. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I always get this question whenever I make these for some reason. And I haven't done one since I was 17. So, I researched it once, and I had a number, but I totally forgot what that number was. And I didn't have time to find out. I'm sorry, Lizzie. What are your tattoos? And Anon also asked this. I have them on my calves, and I actually wore gym shorts so I can show you. Maybe you can't see. I'm not sure. I'll just stand on this chair and risk my life. One of them is an anchor with the C behind it. The other is a heart with wings. My mom's ex-husband did them in his parents' living room. Don't do that ever. It's a really bad idea to do that. I don't recommend it to anybody. Go to a licensed tattoo parlor where they do good work and spend the money. Like, don't do it in a living room ever. What was the first concert you ever went to? I went and saw, with my youth group, Todd Agnew and Rebecca St. James and the Newsboys, back when they had the bald guy singing. So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I was like 13. I enjoyed it a lot. And that was all for Lizzie's. Thank you, Lizzie. Ashley, Forest Florer. There's 2 F's at the beginning and 2 R's at the end for URL. Which would you rather choose? A, sit in a room with no windows and a locked door for 4 days straight, listening to only Nickelback and getting shocked every time you fall asleep. Or B, have to walk through a pit of snakes barefoot for 2 hours. And I was weighing these options last night at work as I was driving around. And, I can't remember what the number is, how many days you can go without sleep before, you just go into a coma. And that might not be true. I think I saw that on, a Friday the 13th movie, with Freddy and his hands. But I would go through Nickelback. I would go for A, sit in a room with no windows and a locked door for 4 days straight, listening to only Nickelback and getting shocked every time I fall asleep. Because, with a pit of snakes, and I texted Ashley and asked her, she said it was a party pack with a surprise variety of snakes. Imminent danger with every step. And I would almost certainly be poisoned, and that would suck. Wow, I'm already at 8 minutes. Wow, I'm so sorry that you're sitting through this. I'll try and go fast. I might not die if I listen to Nickelback for 4 days straight without sleeping. Emily, build your life for you. What's your favorite food? I really like American food, like burgers and fries. I don't know why. Other than that, I like lasagna. What's your favorite bands? For the sake of time, I will say Sleeping Giant is my favorite. I just really love Sleeping Giant and Tommy Green. For Today is up there. And, those are the 2 off the top of my head, so I'm going to stick with those, again, for the sake of brevity. If you could be anyone for a day, who would it be? If I could be anyone for a day and, not mess their stuff up, because I probably would if I was them, making their choices. Shoot. I should have thought this one through, too. This is one of those ones that you can't just kind of answer on the fly. I'd say John the Beloved. I really, really like John. John, I just really like John. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This was also a question that I got from an anon later. I don't know where I see myself in 5 years. My future right now is so uncertain. There's so much going on in, the immediate future that I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. Ideally, I'd like to be operating a music venue and hanging out with kids and preaching the gospel. But, I mean, we'll see. Excuse me, that was all for Emily 2, the second Emily, thank you. My friend Abby, Love and Folly, asked me, what was your favorite scene from the movie The Hobbit? And the whole time I was watching The Hobbit, it was like a nostalgia bomb. I read The Hobbit when I was like 8, and reread it right before the movie came out. So the whole time I was like, it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing The Hobbit. It's so cool. I really, the second time I saw it in theaters, for some reason I was just captivated with Galadriel. So I'd have to say the scene with Galadriel, counseling with Elrond and Gandalf and Saruman. So that would have to be my favorite scene. Answering on the fly. Again, I'm already at 11 minutes. Shoot. Sorry. So that was it for Abby. Thank you, Abby. I got it from an Anon, an Anon, Anon. I can never decide which one to say. And I'm going to stick with Anon. What is the best advice you've ever been given? So when I was 7 years old, my dad and I used to go get fast food every Friday. He'd go pick it up and we'd get fast. It was like our thing. And he was saving money by not getting fast food all week. So he asked me one night, he said, where do you want food from? And I said, I want McDonald's or something. And he's like, okay. So he walks downstairs and he goes out in the garage, and this light bulb goes off in my head, and I run downstairs and, Dad, no, wait! Dad, no! Hey! And then, and he stops me, what's up? And I was like, Dad, I changed my mind, I want Burger King. And he closes the car door, and he looks at me for a second, and he goes, Tyler, you can't change your mind. Only girls change their minds. So, now I don't change my mind. Well, I try not to. I do sometimes. It's embarrassing. That's a joke. That I'm not sexist. Sorry. How do you feel about internet relationships? Well, I was in one for a few months. I obviously don't have a problem with them. Distance is a little hard. It's definitely a challenge, but overall, it's not. I see nothing wrong. The internet's just another social platform. If you can make it work, go for it. Do you have a dream girl or perfect date? Neither, because every girl's different, and every date is its own date, and it's. I don't want to idealize something and then get. I'd totally hang out with Emma Stone though. I would totally hang out with Emma Stone. Okay. I'm already at 13 minutes, and this next one's a long one. Shoot, I didn't expect this to be so long. I'm really sorry. Apologetics question. Defend the idea of original sin, that the punishment for the disobedience of Adam and Eve has been passed down to all of us. Why should we be damned for the transgressions of our forefathers, and what of all the people all over the world who have never been exposed to Judeo-Christian religious views such as this, who would also inherit original sin, but have no idea it exists? Are they damned without ever knowing it? Is that just and merciful? And I'm going to respond to this as quickly as possible because I'm already at almost 14 minutes. I'm really sorry. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. I honestly do. And you don't have to watch the rest. I mean, I would like it, but you don't have to. You can live your own life. So I'm going to reference Genesis 3 real quick. Now, the serpent was more crafty. Okay, we know this story. So Adam and Eve were in the garden, or they might not have been in the garden, and they encountered the serpent, who was the accuser, the devil, and he, persuaded them to disobey God and eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, this isn't the tree of evil; it's the knowledge of good and evil, right? That's going to come back to. It's going to come back. That's important. So, to Adam the Lord said, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat of it. All the days of your life it will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. So the earth is cursed because of man's disobedience, because of the original sin of Adam and Eve, right? Fast forward, and this is laying the groundwork for my next point. Genesis 14:17 through 20 is Abraham encountering a man named Melchizedek. After Abram, sorry, he was Abram still, he wasn't Abraham yet. After Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Sheva, that is the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was a priest of God Most High. And he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. So Abram tithed to Melchizedek, right? So, and again, this is laying groundwork. And I should have had these bookmarked, but I didn't because I was in a hurry, and I'm sorry. My hurry is making me take longer, and that doesn't make any sense. Hebrews 7 is what I'm looking for. So Hebrews 7, 1 through 12 says, This Melchizedek was king of Salem and priest of God Most High. He met Abraham returning from the defeat of the kings and blessed him, and Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. Just think, we're skipping ahead to verse 4, just think how great he was. Even the patriarch Abraham gave him a tenth of the plunder. Now the law requires the descendants of Levi who become priests to collect a tenth from the people, that is, their brothers, even though their brothers are descended from Abraham. This man, however, did not trace his descent from Levi, yet he collected a tenth from Abraham and blessed him who had the promises. And without doubt, the lesser person is blessed by the greater. One might even say that Levi, who collects the tenth, paid the tenth through Abraham, because Melchizedek met Abraham. Because when Melchizedek met Abraham, Levi was still in the body of his ancestor. So we can conclude from this that that all of mankind was in their ancestor Adam when he disobeyed, bringing the curse on the earth, and then giving us the knowledge of good and evil when he ate of the tree, because we were in Adam at the time. And Romans 2:14 through 16 talks about how, I won't read it because I already closed the Bible, talks about how the law is written on the hearts of the Gentiles. You know, like the Israelites had the law on the tablets and on scrolls, and the Gentiles have the law in their hearts. So everyone has the knowledge of good and evil. Everyone is aware. If you look all over the world, there are hundreds of religions all seeking divinity, and they're all seeking the same God. Just, you know, different. Every culture sees that there is a God, that there is the Almighty there, and they're pursuing Him, but a lot of them pursue Him the wrong way. The Greeks in the book of Acts, Paul went to them, and they had the shrine to the unknown God. I don't have that reference right now, and I'm not going to find it to save time. They had the shrine to the unknown God. Everyone is pursuing the same God. They're just doing it wrong. And then Jesus, God, came down, and He said, you know, I and the Father are one. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Follow me, and you can go where I'm going. So it is just and merciful because everyone has the law in their hearts. Everyone is aware of sin. Everyone is aware of morality all over the world. I mean, that's the basic of it. I was going to go a little further, but 19 minutes. So I'll go fast. Kelly Nicole, if you could live in any make-believe, storybook, sci-fi, mystical, fictional land, what story worlds, what have you, would you want to be in? Middle Earth. I would love to be in Middle Earth. I'm a total Tolkien fan. I would totally be a ranger. I don't know. My friend Jeremy, JerBear3X, will we be friends forever? With 3 question marks. This is a hard question because life happens. Jeremy, I love you. You're my dude, and I enjoy your presence all the time. But life happens, and in eternity we can hang out all we want. But I mean, right now, like, you might move away, I might move away. I don't know. Stuff happens, but I mean, we're friends, and that's important, right? Cool. Anon, tell us about your first kiss. I was 14, and I'd been dating this girl for like 2 weeks, and and we had just left youth group. We were actually sitting on stairs on the side of the church building, waiting for her mom to pick her up. And her mom pulls up, or she calls and says she's close or something. So, I go to give her a hug, and I turn to kiss her on the cheek because, we're dating, and I like this girl. And she turns her head and puts her tongue in my mouth. That was my first kiss. I thought it was awesome, but anyway. What's your favorite color? I like blues and greens. I really like the colors of the sea. I just really appreciate those. What's your favorite book? The Bible. Obviously, that's number one on my list. Other than that, again, I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I love the Middle-earth universe. The Silmarillion, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. Those are my favorites. Last three. Amy, Sun Through the Clouds. What was the last thing you laughed really hard at? I reblogged it last night. Oh, man. That deer, that totally crazed deer with the crazy eyes and I lost it. I thought that was hilarious. Before that, it was the that cat walking through the windows or walking along the windowsill, and they have AWOL Nation playing in the background, and he goes to jump, and I loved it. I lost my mind. Amy again, favorite Doctor Who episode. I really love. From season 2, The Girl in the Fireplace. I love that episode so much. That's the one that comes to mind. Gosh, I'm in such a hurry. I can't even speak right. That's the one that comes to mind right away. I love that episode so much. And finally, Justin Bergen. I mean, his name's Bergen, but his URL is Bergen. Who is your favorite Canadian? And this is hard because Justin is my good friend. But Eden is also my good friend, and I don't know how I'm supposed to choose between them. And if I say Eden, he's just going to joke that we're dating anyway, which we're not. Eden and I are not dating, just to clear that up. But I talk to Eden more, and I'm going to say Eden, but we're not dating. We're not a couple. And that's not denial or anything, that we're not. So there's that, and that's all the questions I have. Thank you for sitting through 23 minutes of this, if you already have. You are awesome, and I love you, and I'm done now. Thanks.